Let's talk about sex and dating in the #MeToo era. There's definitely a need for additional education. We have science-based education in the classroom, books on how to be a better lover, but nobody really talks about the space in between. How do you go from being interested in somebody to then a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship with them? How could the Aziz Ansari situation have gone differently? Well, we'll look at some of the facts. She went on a date that she felt he rushed her through dinner. If she wasn't feeling the love at that point, quite honestly, why go back to his apartment? But I get it, she still wanted something from him. We're not exactly sure what that is. It may have been connection, it may have been attention, it may have just been bragging rights. But ultimately, it wasn't actually expressed. It wasn't communicated at that point what both of them wanted out of the rest of the evening. And had they just had that conversation, a lot of the awkward, uncomfortable, inexperienced situations could have been avoided. I keep hearing this term male entitlement to sex come up over and over again. And it bothers me because men should be entitled to sex. Women are entitled to sex. Both men and women should be entitled to great sex. We have a right to pleasure and connection and intimacy. We as human beings have a right to experience those things. What isn't an expectation is who that should be experienced with and how. It doesn't matter what our sexual orientations are, whether we're straight, gay, queer, whether we're polyamorous or demisexual, sapiosexual. Ultimately, we're all trying to connect with someone on some level. And the more that we understand that about ourselves, the more that we understand what we find interesting about other people and what type of sex we're available and interested in, the more successful our interactions are going to be. We've been taught what sex is. We know how to avoid unwanted pregnancy and STDs, but we don't really know how to figure out what kind of sex it is that we want and what kind of sex it is that we want at the moment with the person that we're with. And that may include none at all. We understand the concept of no means no, yes means yes, but we don't ever really talk about what else is possible. Knowing that you have a full menu of possibilities available to you is empowering. It gives you a whole lot of options that you can discuss, and it lets other people know that their orgasm is not your responsibility. What type of sexual activity are you interested in at the moment? Are you interested in maybe making out with this person? Do you want to have some sort of oral sex? Do you want to have a mutual masturbation session? Do you want to just watch them masturbate? All of these things should be options and should be considered possibilities when you're out on a date with someone. It shouldn't just be, do I want to have sex with them or not? I get it. Guys have said to me, I could never say that to a woman. They'll think I'm a creep. I got news for you. I think discussing sexual interest and possibilities is extremely attractive. It's a huge turn on to me when a guy can say to me, hey, I feel like this is going really well. I feel really sexually attracted to you, but I don't want to get my signals wrong. Are you interested in me like that? And then we can actually have an open and honest discussion about pleasure. And girls, yeah, I get it. Oh my God, I can't say masturbation. I can't ask him to do that. Yes, you can. And you're not gonna lose any points by doing that. I'm a huge proponent of asking. I think it's super sexy for a man to not assume that it's okay or wanted, but to express to me that they want to do it and then ask me if it's okay. I think it's a huge turn on. I know plenty of women out there that think, ugh, I'd rather he just went ahead and did it. I don't want him to ask me first. And hey, to each his own. But for the guys who aren't sure, for the guys who don't want to make an unwanted advance, You're not losing anything by taking the time to ask. And quite honestly, all you're doing is qualifying the person sitting across the table from you. Is this person going to be in an honest, communicative relationship with me? Or is this person just interested in playing games? Does this person want me to read their mind? And do I want to take on the next 3 months of trying to figure them out? We are both vulnerable when it comes to sex. We leave ourselves open to scrutiny. We leave ourselves open to criticism and judgment. And this is why it's so important for each of us to take responsibility for ourselves, to check in with ourselves. How are we feeling? What do we feel about this person sitting across from us? How do we want to interact with this person? And then we need to ask for it. And if we're not getting what we want, if we're not having the experience that we want to have, we need to say that too. We need to say, hey, you know what? I'm not quite ready for this, but how about this? Or, you know what? This isn't really working for me, so I'm going to step away. And when you do get a rejection, when you get someone who says, ugh, I don't want to talk about it, take that as a blessing. It's a gift. Oh my God, thank you for showing me that you're not the person for me, that you're not the person that I can have this relationship with. Thank you for not letting me waste my time, and move on.